The new MacBook Pro's display is so powerful and accessible, it could change filmmaking forever. Film students of the digital generation have been taught that if you want your film to look like a Hollywood movie, you have to follow the unbreakable rules. It has to be in 24 FPS to maintain that dream look from days of yore, and it has to have a shallow depth of field so the director and the viewer can focus on a subject. 90s maverick filmmaker Quentin Tarantino, who I'm a fan of his work, is so enamored by the value in physical film stock and its film production process that he won't go within spitting distance of an NLE like Final Cut or Premiere Pro. When fantasy movie The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey tried to break out of this mode with a 48 FPS version, it flopped. It's technically a better image than having the motion blur of 24 FPS, but was aesthetically worse because it looked too sharp, like video or TV footage. This has left indie digital filmmakers on a shoestring budget trying to find expensive lenses or post-production solutions to imitate that look, but it's never been good enough for Hollywood. Now let's get to the Mac part. The new MacBook Pro XDR display, Apple claims it's the best screen ever included with a notebook, and it's probably right. It uses some of the same technology included in the high-end XDR display. There are a lot of numbers about why it's good. You can go read up on it online, but there are two significant areas. The next step up in visuals is HDR, which is able to show more details in colors, more contrast between blacks and whites. The XDR supports HDR. It has 1600 nits peak brightness, a 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio, which are both suitably high for better quality HDR. HDR content is now supported on streaming services like Netflix and Disney Plus, and in premium video games. At the moment, it's a higher end feature, but it will become an established part of all content in the future. In 2019, Netflix mandated that its new film productions must be captured and finished in HDR. So the new MacBook allows you to consume HDR content, which is great, view HDR content, which you have captured on more recent iPhones, but more importantly, it allows the user to create and edit HDR content and view it on the display. This is more than a big deal. This is massive. Secondly, there is the 120Hz display, which makes everything look smooth on screen, makes the motion look smooth. You'll be able to view content and play games that have high frame rates. And this is significant because it's one of two areas driving change. Video games, where most games were 30 FPS, the recent PS5 and Xbox Series X are driving a standardization towards 60 FPS. But high-end PCs and monitors are introducing people to 120 FPS gaming, as well as the recent premium iOS devices. But more than that, digital cameras are able to take high-frame video. 60 FPS if you've ever watched a 60 FPS walking video. Even the difference between 50 and 60 FPS is significant because 60 FPS looks near real, and in time 120 FPS will become standardized. So what's been happening over recent years is that people are becoming accustomed to higher frame rates, the detail in it, the quality. That in itself doesn't make it suitable for Hollywood movies, which people have been viewing all their lives. But that Hollywood standard is not relevant for everything. A few months ago, I accidentally caught a bit of the 1994 movie You've Got Mail. Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, a rom-com with a meet cute about two people who meet and maybe hate each other, but without knowing it, fall in love over the cutting-edge technology of 90s email. I saw it when it was released and it was perfectly fine, but catching a bit of it in present day, during the pandemic, in an era where people have lost loved ones, when people have been sick or had mental health problems or job losses or breakups, this is not a happy era. In fact, this is a very unhappy era. So watching the saccharine schmaltziness of You've Got Mail with its over-the-top musical score, telling you how it's a bit of fun or a romance bit, it's just too overbearing and fantastical. In pandemic hit 2020s, something struck me. This film is not appropriate. I don't mean because of bad language or violence. Whatever it is, whatever it's supposed to be, it doesn't speak to anybody. It doesn't say anything. Not that it should, it's all of its time, but it's unlikely going to resonate with the vast majority of audiences today. Now, content and form work in tandem. 24 FPS works great with fantasy, and I definitely prefer it. Instagram too worked for many years on edited idealism until its algorithms were blown away by the approachable reality of TikTok. As the repercussions of the pandemic affect societies around the world, with poor health, recession, mental health, restrictions, pessimism, this will all have an effect on people's psyches. 2020s lean into gritty realism. To show realism on screen, the best way is to be as real as possible, and honestly, 60 or 120 FPS will do that best. It can still be made cinematic with shots and lighting. But if there is a move to more real, more truthful content, 24 FPS will still work with the blockbuster movies that serve as escapism. And a new MacBook Pro, M1 Pro or M1 Max allows a person with an iPhone to capture HDR footage and then edit it on a 14-inch computer and view the HDR footage accurately on screen and edit it. Such power in such small devices. The only thing the user needs to bring is the talent. People have been talking about the democratizing of filmmaking for decades. Well, you know what? This is actually it.